Okay, let's make certain this is working first. It is Monday evening, the 24th of July. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onig. This is Weather Overtime, coming to you from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. Going to be seeing some hotter temperatures in the next several days. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. We'll also try to cool things off, take a look at some different temperatures around the globe, not necessarily here, but down into around the South Pole area. It's wintertime down that direction, so a little bit cooler, to say the least, and the potential of some hotter weather continuing for the next several days. So we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. Want to see more about what's going on with the forecast? Please join us at wdef.com/weather for more details there. Let's take a look outside. Sylvester the Spider hanging out on a warm and sultry evening at Island Cove Marina and Resort. And a few clouds off into the background there. That's on the EPB Fiber Optics WeatherCam network. Looking toward Highway 153 and the Highway 64 overpass. Traffic moving along quite nicely at this location. Not seeing any visibility problems out there. A little bit of light haze, but beyond that, skies are mostly clear to partly cloudy and should be that way for a while. From downtown, looking from the News 12 studio building, on Broad Street, looking back toward the north, toward downtown, to which we can just barely see there. From the opposite direction, from downtown's buildings, looking back toward News 12 and Lookout Mountain off there in the distance, showing again some fairly hazy conditions, but otherwise able to see the outline of Lookout Mountain there in the distance. Not quite as hazy as it was last week. The view from the 7524 interchange at CHI Memorial Stadium, not showing any problems here with visibility or anything else to worry about at this time, so good news on that. Temperatures still quite warm, nearing 10 o'clock Eastern time, back in the lower 80s. Humidity up to 54%, lower than usual, but still on the high side. It'd be nice to get some of those 20% humidity ranges out there that we had a few weeks ago, so not doing too bad for right now. I have to thank my sister-in-law, Suzanne Allison Livernoy from Centennial, Colorado, sending in a beautiful post-storm picture looking off to the west-southwest, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you very much for that one, Suzanne. That's our West Shore home weather window picture of the day. If you'd like to be able to see any of these pictures out there, please go ahead and send them in to us by email at pictures@wdef.com, or you can drop them to us on the comments section of our Instagram, Facebook, and whatever Twitter used to be called and is calling itself now. Something to do with the letter X. I don't get it myself, but I'm not him who's running that place. So for right now, again, social media, if you'd like to be able to send that in, yours could be our next West Shore home weather window picture of the day. We did not manage to pick up any rainfall today. First day in a long time that we haven't gotten all that much out there. And as of right now, very close to where we should be on the temperatures for this time of the year. A record high that was set in 1952 and a record low of 56 degrees. That's some very, very chilly weather for July around here. That was set 5 years earlier than that. That was set in 1947. No rainfall today, as I said. We're still behind for the month and the year. We could use some more rain. Got a decent amount last week to get us a little bit closer to where we are. But again, we could definitely use some more to get us to where we need to be for the month. And we're now an inch and a half behind for the year, so could definitely use some help on that if at all possible. So not looking too bad on the temperatures over the next several days. Nothing record-breaking, but not exactly cooler either. We'll get to that in just a little bit. For Tuesday, again, looking at temperatures back in the lower 90s and heat index temperatures easily back into around the mid to upper 90s, somewhere in there. So if you're planning on a wow, this is something for this time of the year. I beg your pardon, allergies really showing up. I'm going to have to cut that out for later on. Seeing again temperatures, that's the first time I've ever sneezed while doing these things. I do apologize on that. Looking again at temperatures very much on the sultry side for tomorrow, and the same thing for going outside into and around the area. We see again the potential for Okay, excuse me, trying to make sure all my notifications are turned off there. Not great for getting outside. If any of this distracting too much, I'm terribly sorry, but things happen, unfortunately. So for right now, tomorrow, outdoors, golf, fishing, whatever. Hot and humid, but also seeing again the potential for more showers and thunderstorms occasionally, and that mainly during the afternoon. So the weather page we use for this forecast showing a poor day for going out and doing any fishing. So not really great news on that. We did have some rain showers just north of us. Technically, we still do just before 10 o'clock, and some thunderstorms, but as this activity is moving its way southward, it's moving into very stable air, so it's doubtful that any of this is going to reach the News 12 counties. Clouds, yes. Rainfall, very much doubt it, and that is the way it's looking for right now, as those thunderstorms with what were some severe thunderstorm watches going on, making their way down to the south and to the east. So we do not see anything in the way of major problems here. But tomorrow, this is where we could see again the potential for storms like this making their way into the area. We'll show you the forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Let's see, for the next, where are we? Okay, let's go ahead and go to the maps and show you more about that. These storms are really not that much, and they were not what they used to be. Again, moving toward more stable air on this side of the front. This is going to give us, again, the potential of these clouds drifting through, but beyond that, really not seeing much of anything else coming on through the area. And then, over the next few days, not much of anything really happening. The current forecast is really causing no concern for anything really major league heavy coming through, because it looks like a lot of these fronts that are trying to make their way down to the south are just going to wash out in the atmosphere. They're already running out of steam. Again, this is a stationary front here. The alternating red and blue lines are showing the storm is kind of holding in place, not really going too far. So as they drop southward, they pretty much wash out, and that's true of all of these fronts. They are just really not going to survive the next day or two, and all we're going to be left with is the heat and humidity from the areas around Mexico and the Gulf coming up this direction. This is where we're going to be seeing that potential for more problems with the heat. We'll show you more about that with the temperatures coming up here in just a little bit. Running the numbers into overnight, again, we're going to be expecting those showers and thunderstorms north of us to give up. Toward around I-40, we could be looking at the potential of a few showers tomorrow up around Knoxville, over toward Pigeon Forge, and just into the western part of North Carolina. But it's tomorrow afternoon that we begin to see the potential of maybe some more concentrated areas of thunderstorms, but random dotted across the area. And then temperatures for highs tomorrow easily back into the lower 90s, depending on how many showers and thunderstorms decide to move on through. What we've got into Wednesday and following, there's really not much of anything else in the way of really heavy amounts of rainfall anytime soon. So for Wednesday morning, lows only in the lower 70s. A stray shower or thunderstorm possible on Wednesday. Hopefully that won't be a problem with the Lookouts game downtown Chattanooga. And then by early morning on Friday, temperatures will heat up, or on Thursday, temperatures will heat up very quickly, and there's a period of time that if we do not get any showers here to drop the temperatures and block that sunshine out, there's a very good possibility that by the end of the week, temperatures will rise, not that cool at nighttime, and if it doesn't cool off enough, then the temperatures, as they start warm, will finish hot, and that looks to be the forecast right on in through the weekend. So by the time we hit Thursday, right about lunchtime, we could easily be back in the high 90s. So we're talking about some very uncomfortable conditions coming on through, and that could be, again, a problem for any outdoor activities whatsoever. Again, we're coming up on the fall semester, so football, soccer, baseball, softball, two-a-days, marching band practice for schools, working or exercising outdoors at any point in time during the day, during that full-on sunshine, is going to be hot, and it's going to be dangerous for staying out there for too long. So please keep that in mind for working or exercising out there. The Storm Prediction Center has given us the potential of some thunderstorms tonight, and I don't see that as being a really big concern at this point in time. Doesn't really look likely that anything's going to pop up. Tomorrow, we also see that potential. This forecast for Tuesday is several hours old, and that should be updated later. By Wednesday, the threat goes away, so there's really not that much left out there in the way of any chance of showers and thunderstorms coming on through. So that, again, will change into this weekend, but we don't have the extended forecast from the Storm Prediction Center on this animation, but we'll be watching that throughout the rest of the week. Likewise, less in the way of the potential of heavy amounts of rain leading to flash flooding out there. So the way it shakes out is like this. Temperatures today, lower 90s, tomorrow, lower 90s. That's as not hot as it gets over the next several days, and that is where we see the numbers really start to build. We'll be back into the mid-90s through the rest of the week, upper 90s by the weekend, not out of the question, and then next week, Sunday, concluding the weekend and getting into next week, there could be the potential of some thunderstorms out there. Not a lot, but we may see that's the best potential of anything involving rain or thunder for the next week and a half almost. So it looks like we may be finishing up July on a very dry note, depending on what happens out there over the next few days. We need a major pattern shift to get any more rain and some cooler temperatures in here, and that shift is just not showing up when it comes to anything involving the maps and the models. So this is the way it looks right on in through the next several days. Going beyond that into the next week and a half or so from the 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, that also is showing, again, a very much a chance for above normal temperatures for much of the southeastern quarter of the United States. So from Texas and New Mexico all the way over to the East Coast, including the News 12 viewing area, much above normal. That doesn't mean record-breaking, but that does mean that it's not going to be cool anytime soon. Again, the lower 70s looks like it'll be about as good as we're going to be able to get it done for any time soon. And the only chance we really have of anything really getting cooler, that's way up into New England, where we may see some changes coming on through. What kind of changes? Well, for right now, it's decently quiet on the East Coast, but things have changed a lot in the last 24 hours. We now have two systems of note. The first one, I have to check the update on this from the National Hurricane Center, because it looks like this one down here, the chance of anything dropping has gone to 10% for the 2-day, 7-day forecast. This one, number one disturbance up here, that one remains at 0 for the next 2 days, 20% for the next 7 days, and the general consensus is that this system will be heading toward the southeastern coast of the United States. But this one does not have a designation just yet. It's not as organized as the system beneath it. This one is Invest 95L, and this one, that's Invest as an area of investigation from the National Hurricane Center. It has not gotten strong enough to warrant an actual name or a tropical depression number, but it is coming close. And as of right now, this system, the second one down here, the other one coming close to the East Coast, that one has less chances of actually developing into anything, but this one has a better chance because it's sitting over this extremely warm water, a little cooler around northern South America. But if this goes the way the computer models think it goes, and let me activate what are called quote-unquote spaghetti models, and you can see why they're called that based on what they look like on the surface of the earth, and the plate of spaghetti right there. Basically, it's rare to have a lot of the computer models this much in agreement. Normally 7 to 10 days out, you can have a plate of spaghetti that is just all over the place. And in this case, all of these models right here are very much lined up. That's about a dozen models right there. Granted, that's not all of them, but it does show right now that it looks like this one is going to be just like the last couple of systems that we have had move through this particular area. And that one, again, is going to be, it looks like this one is going to be following in the path of what was Tropical Storm Brett. This one is going to be making its way over to the west and going very straightforward, almost in a due east to west line So if this follows Brett's path, it might go across Central America and into the Pacific, and then it would get another name if it regenerated with all that warm water across southern Mexico. It's a very good possibility that that may happen. So for now, this one, Invest 95L, the second of those two storm systems, does not appear to be a threat for right now. But again, this is tropical storm season, so it's best to pay attention to everything that is going on if you are going to be traveling anytime soon. So this doesn't appear to be a threat to the Gulf, but all it takes is one little nudge up by the atmosphere to get this storm system moving up to the north and west. And nowadays, we're approaching the peak of hurricane season, which comes up in early September. Now's the time to make certain that you are paying attention to everything that is going on across much of the area. So again, this is very important for travelers, especially. Not so much for us immediately, but if you're going anywhere, say Brownsville, New Orleans, the Keys, East Coast, Southeast Canada, the Caribbean, the Bahamas, you got to stay on top of this. Really, it will save a lot of frustration and problems down the line. So just please keep that in mind for safety's sake more than anything else. The view with the moon rising from Amundsen Scott South Pole Station, courtesy of the National Science Foundation, showing conditions much improved in visibility. And on the right-hand side of the screen, I'm told that is a green guidance laser for, I believe, one of the telescopes out there. So kind of neat to be able to see that. But even neater, and just giving you a better idea as to what's going on, the last update from the NSF showing air temperature, regular just air temperature without the wind speed mixed in, 80 degrees below zero at the South Pole, with the wind chill, with winds of around, I believe, 16 knots, somewhere in there, 17, 18, somewhere in there. The wind chill was down into and around the minus 116 range. Let me see if that's changed. Okay, well, the temperature has risen a little bit to minus 78, and the wind chill is down to minus 119 as of 1:39 a.m. Zulu time. So give you an idea as to what's going on down that direction. Hopefully that might cool you off a little bit if you're not liking the warmer temperatures out there. And from another wintry area, and the information that we get from the probes here do not come in every single hour, every single day like what we have here. So the information that we get from the rovers on Mars comes in a more sporadic fashion, and this information is about 4 or 5 days old pretty much, but it's the latest information we have from the Curiosity rover near the equator in Mars' southern hemisphere. The season there is early winter, and so the temperatures correspondingly are a little colder, with a high temperature of 18 degrees below zero Fahrenheit and minus 112 degrees Fahrenheit for a minimum temperature. Normal summertime like temperatures on Mars, a heat wave would be somewhere around 10 to 20 degrees above zero. That right there is exceptionally hot weather for that environment and that atmosphere. So hopefully this cools you off a little bit. If you'd like more from either Curiosity or Perseverance, all you have to do is go to mars.nasa.gov for more information about what Mars weather looks like. Exometeorology has always been a favorite topic of mine. Weather off planet, weather from other planets. It's a great opportunity to be able to see this. This is one of my favorite things because of the fact that when I was a kid, I would have loved to have had this much information about weather on other planets, but it just wasn't available at the time. So now, nice to be able to take advantage of that. So again, to be able to see more about what's happening out there. But again, hopefully these temperatures can cool you off by just a little bit. If you'd like us to come to your classroom, talk about the science of weather, how cool it is, throw in a little bit more about climate change, emergency communications, weather safety, things like that. If you're a teacher and would like to schedule us for the fall semester, please go to the Food City Weather in the Classroom website from News 12. All you have to do is go to wdef.com/weather and find out more, again, from our Weather in the Classroom section. Find out more about, again, drop your information about contact details, size of your class grade level. That's really important for us to be able to give you a proper presentation for the right class level. And any special topics you'd like us to touch on, and how much time frame that we have available during your day. We try to accommodate you on your schedule, but we have to know that in advance. So if you could please let us know about that, that would really help. And if you would like us to come out, let us know, but we just don't show up at places. You have to invite us. And in inviting us, you have to make certain to give us as much details as possible so we can kind of cross-connect on what's happening with what's going on with the forecast out there and with our schedules as well. So go to the website, give us the details, and please sign up as early as possible, because if you wait, we may not be able to come to your school until spring semester. Yes, it gets that busy very quickly, so please consider signing up as soon as possible on things like this, and we'll be glad to accommodate you as much as we are able to do. So again, please give us an idea as to what you are looking at out there. Again, want to thank Whitfield County, Georgia EMA for their weather radio giveaway last week. Pre-programmed weather radios were given out last Friday the 21st. That makes 500 weather radios given away by Whitfield County, Georgia Emergency Management Agency, and a great opportunity to keep residents of the county more informed and better informed by having this available to them. If you have a weather radio and you have not programmed it yet, drop by our website, wdef.com/weather, and we have a specific video that if you don't know about how to program it, we can help. We'd love to be able to help you get this program so you can stay safer. So head to our website, click on the weather section, and find out more about how to program your weather radio from News 12. Be glad to have that available and for you to be able to see more about what goes on out there. That'll pretty much wrap it up for this edition of Weather Overtime. It is just shy of 10 o'clock Eastern Time. It's a very quiet Monday. And we have, again, little, if anything, really major going on, but we'll keep you updated on those storms out in the Atlantic and anything in the way of thunderstorms tomorrow. It doesn't look severe, but if anything does come close to that, keep it tuned to News 12. We'll let you know. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onig. This has been Weather Overtime for Monday, the 24th of